I'm Don.
I'm Royce.
We're the Blue Collar Boys.
Welcome to the American Workforce Podcast.
Let's get into it. Hello, everybody. We are back.
Howdy.
It's the Blue Collar Boys coming at you from the Break Room Studios.
Yeah.
I'm Don. I'm here with my co-host,
Royce Peterman.
Royce.
And we got a doozy for you today.
What are we going to talk about today?
Well, we want to talk about some recent things that's been spiking up for the whole workforce, and that is right to repair and the new kill switch law that's going to go into effect, I believe, 2027?
2027, yeah. So, I guess first to start off, this isn't something that may affect everyone's workforce. It directly affects you and me because we're both in the industry. It may not affect your workforce 100%. Maybe you're a gas station worker or a waitress at a restaurant or whatever, and it has nothing to do with you. However, it is going to affect pretty much everyone's life.
Absolutely, especially anybody that owns a vehicle.
Yeah, you own something with anymore, either an internal combustion engine or an EV, which I don't know. EV are high voltage. I don't know how much repairing your DIY person wants to do on one of those.
Yeah.
But it's going to affect you. It's coming down, and there's a lot of talk. There's a lot of fighting going on. I hope it ends up going the right way. But give us a rundown, Roy. What is right to repair?
Well, right to repair is pretty much a law that was written that gives you the right to work on your own car, appliances, farm equipment. Pretty much you name it all.
Yeah, copy machine. You got the right to tear it apart. Or, to add to that, you have the right to hire somebody that may not be the OEM supplier.
Yeah.
You got a Chevy car, there's no law saying if it breaks down, you have to take it to the Chevy dealer. You can take it to John Q. Public's repair shop down on the corner and have him look at it.
Absolutely.
The way you said it earlier, you have the right to avoid your own warranty.
Yeah, you do. You do have the right to avoid your own warranty. I guess first company we'll start off with that's been under fire for, I don't know, maybe 5 years or so now, right roughly.
Yeah.
Is John Deere has been doing that, and they've been trying to fight this. They want only their dealers working on their equipment. And the problem the farmers have been having is their tractor breaks down the middle of the field, they have to call the dealer to come out there and fix it. While there's maybe 3 service technicians and 14 other tractors broke down in other fields, they have to wait.
Yeah.
It puts a hurt on the American crops too.
Yeah. Yeah, we'll call you at the end of the week when we got more time, kind of thing.
Recently, GM and Ford have been bringing this to light. They really want this as well now too.
Yeah, and I don't know. Working for an OEM, although I'm not John Deere, GM, or Ford, but I do work for an OEM. It's not all the dealer's fault. So the story is online where we had Mr. Farmer, his tractor broke down. He called Mr. Repair Facility, not John Deere dealer, come out, plugged into the tractor. When he did that, John Deere automatically saw that somebody that was not in their dealer network was plugging into this tractor. So they shut it down. They didn't know, right? All they knew is it wasn't a John Deere dealer that was trying to pull fault codes and repair this thing. So they got notification. They shut it down.
And that guy was probably in there doing minor repairs, and the farmer asked him to just plug in and check and make sure everything's working properly.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't know the specifics of it. Now, as the story, and once again, this is online, so take it for what it's worth. But once again, the story says that when he finally found out what was going on, what happened, he took all of his John Deere tractors in and traded them all in on Massey Ferguson.
Well, it's a shame because John Deere has been making high quality farm equipment for years.
Yes,
and now their corporate is trying to shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah.
GM and Ford, I don't know why they're following suit when they're just sitting there watching John Deere go through all these lawsuits.
Here's the deal. You're only going to hurt your customer, right? You're only going to hurt the person. You're going to put a bad taste in their mouth, and they're not going to want to buy your product. Now, as time goes on, and all of the used stuff gets bought up, it's no longer any good, whatever, you're gonna be forced to buy it, right?
Yeah.
You can only run on the previous stuff that doesn't have these lockout features. You can only run that stuff for so long before it becomes, number one, you're repairing something that's 20, 30 years old. Number two, the OEM will probably start discontinuing the parts. So when it does fail, you can't buy the parts to fix it because they don't exist anymore.
Well, and then one thing you, America, need to take in consideration is you're the purchaser. You have the power. If there's only a handful of companies that are doing this, there's other companies out there that aren't. Mm-hmm. I know if you're a diehard Ford or GM guy that, oh no, I wouldn't want to buy a Toyota or I wouldn't want to buy a Chrysler product. But if it comes down to, like, you want to be able to fix your stuff or take it somewhere that's not going to cost you an arm and a leg, you guys have the power.
Yeah. So if you, and we'll throw GM under the bus here, you're a diehard GM guy, right? And let's just play it out. Let's say that all of this stuff happens and you no longer have the right to repair. And it's time for you to buy a vehicle, and you go to the dealer and say, well, I really don't like anything but GM. I don't like how GM's doing this, but hey, what are you going to do? And you go buy it anyway. You're enabling them. You're enabling General Motors. You're saying it's okay.
Absolutely.
As members of the purchasing community, you're the one that has the power to say, you want to know what? I've been a diehard GM guy all my life, but Ford doesn't have all this. I'm going to go buy Ford now.
Yeah.
You have to hit them where it hurts, and that's their pocket.
And you know what? Eventually they're going to realize where they made their mistake. Realize that, hey, the American consumer, well, they're going to tell themselves the American consumer isn't ready for this, which we never will be.
Yeah, we should never be ready for that, America.
And for somebody to allow them to do that just because that's your dad bought GM and your grandpa bought GM, that's kind of a silly reason. They may make a great product, but I mean, we're just using them as an example. I'm not picking on any brand whatsoever. Yeah. Just an example.
If you're a Toyota guy, more power to you. If you're a Ford guy, have at it. We're not here to argue who's better, Ford or GM or John Deere. That's not the point. But
the main point is this is the start of something bigger.
Something very bigger.
And other companies will follow suit if you're allowing these ones to do it.
Who really wants all of this government control in their life? I mean, really stop and think about it. Do you want the government controlling everything you do?
Well, I don't like them controlling what they do now.
Yeah. Crack a history book if you're...
I'm a red-blooded American. I like my beer and barbecues and...
Exactly. Yeah. So you mentioned when we first started, you mentioned kill switches.
Yeah, that's for one, kill switches. The kill switch law is coming out in 2027, and that's all part of the 2021 Infrastructure and Jobs Act. And I'm not going to go into depth on all the stuff that's in that act.
Because there's quite a bit of stuff.
It's jam packed full of all kinds of different things, and some are good, some are bad. However, this one I consider a bad one, but they snuck it in.
Which they're famous for doing.
Yeah, they can, and they're also famous for like, well, let's just not pass one law at a time. Let's throw a whole bunch of stuff in a hat, and then take the whole hat.
Yeah.
Kill switches, technically, they're not new. They're new for the government to have, but most of your buy here, pay here, auto sales, used car lots, stuff like that, they put kill switches in. You stop making your payment, they'll shut you down.
Yeah.
One of the things of the kill switch thing that I think it's a good thing, but they didn't think it all the way through. It's able to sense if you have a blood alcohol content of 0.08 or higher. I mean, yeah, it will keep the road safer. However, say you get called to go pick your buddy up at the bar, you had too many, so you're going to be the designated driver. He hops in. Now the inside of your vehicle smells like a distillery.
Yeah.
Well, now you can't get yourself home, let alone your buddy.
Yeah. If it's just like anything else, if you could come out with something like that and it was used 100% for its intended purpose and nothing more, it probably wouldn't be a bad idea. But we all know that that's going to get abused.
Yeah. They're able to measure your heart rate, the dilation of your pupils, facial expressions. If you're in a big panic and you need to get away from a really bad situation and you need to get in your car and zip out of there, no, you're probably going to die there.
Yeah, the car's not going to start. I don't know. And, there's been a lot of online stuff. Swing that back to flock cameras. And we're getting off topic a little bit, but, the flock camera thing tied in with kill switches. I mean, you could be driving down the road and drive by a flock camera and they could take your picture and be like, oh, you got a seatbelt ticket you ain't paid in 3 weeks. Bloop.
Yeah, parking ticket. No, you got a record bill you got to pay for.
Yeah. Which, now talking about flock cameras, that falls back under the, if you could use a flock camera 100% what it's intended for and nothing more, probably wouldn't be a bad thing. But that flock camera is taking a picture of your license plate and it's recording your movements and it's throwing it in a database and it's cross-checking it with missing persons, vehicles used in crimes, that kind of thing. Now, supposedly, if you're Mr. Law-abiding citizen, like most of us are, and your car isn't tied in with anything like that, it's just supposed to go away, right? But it's not. That database is out there, and don't think they can't access it.
Yeah, and that's the flock camera is not necessarily getting off topic, but that is going to be tied in with your kill switch, and
yeah,
and there you have it.
There's stuff online where guys are tearing those flock cameras off pole.
Now, a little funny story about kind of a right to repair thing. I decided, I guess by better judgment this week, and I answered a phone call from. It didn't come up as spam or anything, so I'm like, well, I'll just see what it is. Well,
could be important, right?
It could be, and apparently whoever was calling me felt the need they're gonna upset me that day. They told me, they said, well, we see that your vehicle warranty is not expired, but it's just knocked down to drivetrain. I said, I'm okay with that. So the guy said to me, he says, well, you know what drivetrain is? I said, yeah, I know what drivetrain is. He says, well, it's engine and transmission. I said, I am aware. I know what drivetrain is. Probably more than you, but I didn't get into that with him.
Yeah.
He said, well, if you're okay with that, then, there's other parts to your car. I'm like, yeah, I know this too.
We are well aware.
He goes, well, if you had something happen with your brakes, your steering, suspension, electrical, that would all be covered under this other warranty that we want to sell you.
Which what warrant? Not to break you up, but what warranty's going to cover brakes? That's a wearable item.
It's a wearable item. So he asked me, he says, well, what are you going to do if something like that breaks down? I said, well, I'm going to fix it myself. And he got an attitude with me. He goes, well, are you a licensed Toyota technician? I said, I am a licensed technician, not a Toyota technician, but I am a licensed technician. And the last time I checked, it is not illegal to fix my own car.
Yeah. Are you a licensed Toyota technician? Should have said that to him.
I probably should have said that,
yeah.
But I was too angry to come up with something witty.
Yeah. The guy you were talking to probably wouldn't know a transmission if it fell out of the sky and landed in his lap.
All he knows is high pressure sales, and he's throwing a fit because he's not getting one.
Wow. So, yeah, I mean, right to repair. Back to what we were talking about. So play this out. If let's say this goes through, just for sake of argument, say they pass this law. There's no more independent shops. There's no more independent parts stores. You buy a Chevy, it breaks down. You got to take it to a Chevy dealer. They're the only ones that can work on it, right?
Yep.
You can be able to afford that.
No.
And to be clear, like I said, I work for an OEM. The dealer, you go in and you walk into a car dealership and you think, you look at the wall and it typically it's going to say something like $180 or $190 an hour to work on your car. You might think that the dealership at the end of the day backs a dump truck in to haul the money to the bank. That's not the way it works. The OEMs charge the dealers a boatload of money in fees. We also, as a dealer, have to pay to be able to use that diagnostic software.
Oh, absolutely.
They don't just, you're a dealer, use this to work on the cars. No, they charge us for it. And that's the amount we have to charge the consumer in order to make it up and make a little bit of money.
Yeah.
And there's training. We have to send guys to training, which is typically not in anywhere close. So there's a rental car to drive to the nearest airport, and there's flights involved. And once you get flown to where you got to be, now we're talking hotel rooms, meals, that all the company has to pay for, right? Not only do we have to pay for it, we have to pay the technician while they're at school. So you got to send those guys to training. And as a dealer, we have to charge that $180, $190 an hour because we have to make that up. And those fees that we get charged from the OEM, those are monthly. It's not just like, here's this one-time fee of $5,000. Here's the computer program so you can fix trucks.
No, you get a monthly dealership fee. You get subscription fees on your software programs.
If you buy parts through our dealership online, we have to pay a fee to the OEM to have that ability to be able to offer online parts ordering.
And that's one thing a lot of people don't realize is the how much even your mom and pop shop that you take your car to get an oil change or get a sensor replaced, how much they actually have to pay for just a subscription of aftermarket diagnostics.
Yeah, you're if you're a car guy like Mitchell on Demand, that's a big one in the.
Yep, it is.
There was a I follow a guy on YouTube, the South Main Auto channel. They're out in New York. If you do not follow him, I highly suggest you do. Eric at South Main Auto, hell of a good mechanic. This guy knows his stuff, right? Very, very good with diagnostics. He made the comment, something along the lines of, probably in another 5 years, there's not going to be much of a used car market. Reasoning behind that is once a car gets out of warranty, you're not going to be able to afford to fix it.
I've already been noticing the higher prices at auto parts stores.
Mm-hmm. And, that I would really stop. I would challenge you to really stop and think about that. Because as it is right now, you and I are alike. We go out, we buy a 2 or 3 year old car, maybe one that's come off a lease, right?
Yep.
And, you pay pennies compared to what it was new. You pay a little bit less for it. Does it have some miles on it? Yes. But you figure you've got a lot of life left in the vehicle, right? So you go ahead and you buy it. And then if it breaks, if it needs a wheel bearing, it needs brakes, that kind of thing, we do it ourselves, right? Well,
yep.
That might be, if all of this goes through like they're thinking, the used car market will be hot for a while. And it's going to be hot with stuff that doesn't fall underneath these laws. But like I said earlier, that inventory is going to slowly get depleted to a point where there's none left.
Oh, yeah.
And you're going to have no choice but to buy new, because the used car, if you go, it'll be out there. You'll be able to buy it. But when it breaks down, you won't be able to afford to fix it.
Yeah. And then another thing I'd like to touch upon also is, all your vehicles now are computer operated, and just like a regular computer you have, you get somebody that's good enough with them, they can be hacked.
Absolutely.
And in fact, there is a company, I don't know the name of it, but they saw the farmers' distress when it came to John Deere's their way around the whole right to repair that they're trying to work on right now. And they created their own replacement computer modules.
So you basically take the John Deere one.
Yep, or John Deere, the 5, however many modules there are in there. You take them out, you put theirs in, and then part of that purchase is you get a laptop with the program to plug it in and do your own diagnostics. It reads all John Deere sensors. It reads, John Deere can no longer read your computer.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, that's really a nice way for now to get around.
If what they're talking about goes through, that'll be illegal.
I'm sure it will.
You won't be able to do that.
But more power to the people that are doing this right now.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. What does it mean for other? So say they did away with right to repair, and you no longer have the right to repair, right? Your stuff has to go back to the OEM dealer.
Yeah, that means if I don't have the right to repair, that means there's no mom and pop shops that have the right to repair, which means infrastructure-wise, parts stores, alignment shops.
Yeah. You'll be buying your tires from the Chevy dealer if you own a Chevy.
Yeah.
No more TireRack.com, none of that.
A lot of your online stores, it's going to cost jobs.
Yeah. Rock Auto, bye-bye.
Yeah, unless you want to buy floor mats or a seat cover.
Yeah. And, those, we say that, your CarQuest, your Auto Value, your Rock Auto, they'll be around for a while because you're still going to have stuff that doesn't fall, right?
Yep.
So, but as those vehicles out there deplete and are no longer in service, and you switch over to the newer stuff, the amount of money that they do is just going to get less and less. To the point where they close up shop and it's just OEM dealers.
Well, since beginning of I don't know when, it's always been a big push to get the consumers to buy. And they're pretty much putting consumers in a corner to where that's what they have to do. Well, I'm a consumer. You're a consumer. How much money do you want to spend?
Right. Well, I can tell you straight up that the OEM I work for, if they could do away with parts and service tomorrow, they'd do it.
Yeah. Oh, your truck's broken? I guess you got to buy a new one.
Yep. Oh, flat tire? Well, I got this brand new one over here. The tires are all inflated, you know.
Yeah, that's what actually holds there.
Yeah. So, yeah, keep in mind, guys, this is pretty big. And if it goes the wrong way, I don't think it will. I think there's going to be enough. Because you're looking at all industries. We're sitting here talking about farm equipment and automotive, but we're talking companies that fall under this are like Apple. You'll no longer, if this goes through, you'll no longer take your iPhone to Mr. Fix-It guy in the corner to get the glass replaced.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
That'll go back to Apple, and they'll probably tell you to buy a new phone.
Yeah, and
so,
raise the price of that.
Yeah, so just, we're sitting here talking about cars and trucks and that kind of thing because that's the industry we're in. But keep in mind, it's following right to repair, follows everything, including medical equipment. And I guess from what I did a little research on the old interwebs, so take it for what it's worth, but evidently that's something that surfaced in COVID times. Medical equipment was going to hell, and they couldn't get anybody to fix it because it was OEM locked. So basically, if you weren't the manufacturer that made the machine in the first place, nobody could work on it. And trying to get those people out to work on it was like pulling teeth. So this affects just more than your transportation industry.
Yeah, everything you buy. And we're living in a throwaway day and age.
Yeah, your refrigerator, your stove, your furnace, your water heater,
your
TV, all of that. It all falls under right to repair. Anything in closing, Roy?
Well, I just like one thing we mention in every podcast we do is if you hear something that we didn't cover, something we covered improperly,
yeah,
leave a message.
Let us know. Comment if you're watching the YouTube version.
Oh yes, comment by all means. Comment. We want to hear from you.
We want you to like it and subscribe. We are also on Spotify. So yeah, I'll put a link to our Spotify on the YouTube version.
Channel.
Yeah,
perfect.
Yeah, so you can listen to us on Spotify as well. And like Roy said, if there's something we missed, we said wrong, or just questions and comments, we want to know what you guys think. We're not liking this get away the right to repair. What do you guys think? Should they get away with it, or should they get rid of it? Your stuff breaks, take it back to the dealer.
Yeah, if you have a statement that supports the government side of things, we want to hear it.
Yeah. You said it, but before we close, there's another one. All your military vehicles, guess what? The what's Army's version of the mechanics?
Motor pool?
The motor pool. There'll be no more motor pool.
Yeah. Wherever they buy their vehicles from, they're going to have a remote dealership there over in the Middle East.
Yeah. Your Humvee, it'll go back. I don't think those are GM anymore, are they?
They're not even in action anymore, from what I understand.
Oh, really? Yeah. All of your fighter planes and all that. Sorry.
Yeah.
So keep that in mind, guys. This could affect a lot of stuff if this goes the way they're goes the way they're talking. So
Yep. Don't turn a blind eye to any new law you hear that's going to be coming up around the bend, because it's going to affect you.
Yeah.
It may not be now, but it will down the pike.
yep, absolutely. So yeah, I think we've pretty much wrapped it up. Like, subscribe, guys. Make sure to leave your comments. Let us know what you think about Right to Repair.
Yep. And keep working, America.
Yep, we'll see you next time.